Hello. Today I'd like to talk about patience and planting the seed. I apologize for the lighting here. It's really hard to find a good spot to record and have proper lighting. But that's something that I might invest in, probably get better equipment depending on how any of this goes, but I have to be patient. To start off, I want to point out that we live in a society of instant gratification. We live in the I want it now society. We get anything delivered, really, most things that we can think of. We have streaming services. You don't have to go out and buy physical copies of your favorite show or TV. You can find it on different platforms. Obviously you have to pay a price for it, but it's there. We have access to almost all of recorded human history. Think about that. 500 years ago, people didn't even have a Bible to read. And now we have any sacred text you can think of, and it's online. Most pictures, almost any picture you can think of, you can find it online. Most information that people don't have access to and sort of take for granted, we have access to. At least in the US, our lives are more comfortable compared to most. I'm not going to say it's everybody, but considering the amount of people who live in less than ideal conditions, then yes, we live in a very comfortable society. I live in a very comfortable place. I rent a house that has issues because it's an older house, but I appreciate it so much. My bedroom is pretty much the size of my old apartment, and that's just my bedroom. So I have a kitchen now, I have a living room, a dining room, a foyer. It's ridiculous. And it took a while, but once things happened, I really, really appreciate it. And that sort of goes on to my next point, is that things don't just happen overnight. When I mean planting the seed, I mean that as a metaphor, as if you were a farmer or just somebody trying to grow your own crops or your own produce, whatever. You have to plant the seed first and you have to nurture it. Sometimes you'll be successful, other times you won't be as successful, and then hopefully you learn from your mistakes. But you have to have patience. You have to keep at it. You can't just plant the seed in the ground, put water in, and then expect everything to turn out okay. You have to be patient. You have to wait. Because only by waiting and see, then you can figure out if you made any mistakes, and then, like I said, try to learn from them, try to fix them. So part of my background is, as far as my education, it took me 9 years, 2 schools, 3 different majors, and a year off before I graduated. It took some people longer to get there than others. It took people much less. I made the mistakes. I experimented with different majors, with different things I wanted to do. Once I found a major that I was happy with, it was a creative major, it was a theater, but we also did a lot of film, then that's where I really focused on trying to grow my career. I haven't been a super successful writer, but that's what I wanted to do. I've been paid for a few scripts here and there, nothing major. But I do it because I love it. It might take me another 10 years to get to the level or even close to the level that I want to be, but I have to be patient and I have to keep trying. There are actors, actresses, people in any industry really, that it takes them quite some time to get their footing and to do the things that they wanted to do. From what I remember, Stan Lee, the creator of, or the co-creator of Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, X-Men, the Hulk, Iron Man, he didn't start doing that until he was already in his 40s. I think he was like 44 or something. And he became a legend after that. So it was a process. Another thing about me is I used to be a big kid. I was a chunky little kid from about 8 years old. And then I kind of stretched out a little bit in high school, so I wasn't as chunky, more like flabby. But then in college, when I started partying and drinking and eating out all the time, that's when I really started becoming unhealthy. The heaviest I weighed is 263 pounds from what I remember. And now I weigh almost 100 pounds less than that. And it's taken about 7 years to undo 20 years about of bad habits. As far as my mental health is concerned, I've done a video about the struggles I faced before. I understand it's a long process, but part of that is focusing on your demons and facing them head on. I have not always been successful. As I've stated, it's a work in progress. But the fact that I took time to do it and understanding that it's not going to be an overnight process was enough to help me. And part of that outlook comes with my spirituality. And either my point of view affected my spirituality or my spirituality affected my point of view. But either way, it's something that slowly, growing up as a Catholic, I started to get a little sour on some of their teachings. And then I started becoming a little sour on Christianity and the Abrahamic religions as a whole. And then I started sort of branching out to different areas of spiritual practices. But the idea is that every day I try to practice what I preach. With relationships, it's hard because it does take extensive amounts of time and effort to cultivate, just like you would a very finicky plant. But yeah, people require lots and lots of patience. Because understand that whatever you're going through, they also might be going through that or something even heavier. And they don't have the capability, the tools, or even the desire to try to work through all of that. As far as my finances go, I've made a lot of mistakes and I've been trying to learn from them. I did a lot of, quick fixes, let future me worry about it. And now future me is present me, and present me is cursing out past me because he left me this mess. But I've isolated the problems to what I need to do, and I've been educating myself on how to fix them. I'm attempting to save more money because you never know when you might need it. I'm looking into investing more because why not? But I understand that me getting to a place where, I can buy my own property and, build a house or any of that, I'm not there yet. It'll take time, and that's okay. The idea is never to stop moving forward. The times that I have stopped moving are the times where all of the dark thoughts sort of coalesce. I don't want to say catch up to me because it's not like I'm trying to outrun my problems. I did maybe in the past, but not right now. Not anymore. I'm facing them head on. But I think, a lot of the times moving faster than my demons can catch up to me. And when I stop, that's when they're like, oh, okay, now we can catch up to you. Every day I try to take full advantage of the day, even if it's just to focus on myself and recharging, because that's also very, very important. I think a productive day doesn't necessarily have to be you do something, but maybe you just focus on not doing anything if that means that it's going to be more beneficial in the long run. And I think I used to be a person that had regrets, but now I see everything as a learning opportunity, and I don't feel like I'll ever go back to having regrets, even if I never get to the goals that I established for myself. And in my life, I've established many goals that I have not met, but I never stop working towards them. I also understand that not every goal is meant to be met, but the intention of working towards it, I think, is the most important part. The reason I think this is because in the intention of trying to better yourself and trying to get towards that goal, then you're already bettering yourself. So the process might not get to where you need to, even if you've taken forever in that process. It's learning from your mistakes. It's a farmer realizing what he or she must do in order to have better crops. I have a friend that he grows exotic plants, and he gave me one, and it's a very particular plant that required particular needs, and I killed it. So you're gonna kill it. You're gonna kill your plant sometimes, and you just have to figure out how not to kill the next one. And don't put too much pressure on yourself. Remember the old adage of Rome wasn't built in a day. So just plant the seed, cultivate it, have patience. And here's a friendly reminder that you're not on anyone's time but your own. Any deadline that you feel like you have to meet that doesn't come from anybody else, then that's just on you. It's not your parents telling you that you need to do it. It's not your loved one. You're the one that sets up when you want to do the things that you need to do, and nobody else. Anyway, I hope some of this resonated with you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Click the bell for notifications, and I will talk to you in the next video. Have a blessed day.